Just here's some you can see here that I've done. This was cracked here. I sent you a picture of that before, and it was cracked here.
Wow, that's like cherry red. Did you repaint that, or did you just buff it?
No, I repainted it after I primed it and stuff. But I wanted to show you this.
Well, you do know we're painting it black, right? I don't want you to kill yourself painting it red.
Well, whoever paints it, I don't paint, so I mean a whole car, so
could have fooled me.
Who does. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. This is a rocker, so I ground that out. This was cracked. The metal was cracked. And then, of course, this was all rusted, and this is Bondo. So somebody's done some work on this before.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to show you that, and I thought, well,
you think maybe it's been in a wreck at some point? Or is it just old?
Just old. And I thought, well, as long as I'm in here, I'm going to clean this here up, you know, make it decent. And over here on this side, this was the side over here. Remember, it was dented down at the bottom of the rocker.
Yeah, there was some kind of like major. Yeah, right there. Yeah, I noticed you bondoed the whole thing.
So I took in there. I ground it because there's some spots back here that were bubbled. So I ground that all out, and then of course I finished. I'm not through finishing this, but I bondoed this, so this whole thing will be all nice and smooth like that up there. And then this here is the finished product up here.
How many hours have you put into this car already? I can't believe how much you've gone to town on this thing.
I keep a daily tally. But anyways.
Oh, wow.
Remember that was cracked in here. And then this over here, remember the hood? I haven't lined the hood yet.
Look at how shiny that is.
I haven't aligned the hood yet. This is this side here.
Wow.
So when the car gets painted, they'll go over all this and smooth it out really good. But anyway,
it kind of makes me want to leave it red. that looks so nice.
But anyway, I noticed, so this is what you were talking about. So I got to pull this in a little bit. It's a little bit.
Yeah, the alignment is somehow off there or something.
Then I'll take and fix this so it's like the one over there. It has a little bit, but not much. So that's kind of where I'm at, and then I'm going to show you on the brakes, because you need to drive a car that's safe.
Yeah, I was leaving like 10 car lengths between me and the person in front of me just because you really got to crank the brakes on this thing. Did you find out what the issue was with that?
No, I haven't got into it yet, but I'm going to tell you what the possibilities are. So it's three things. There's brake line, there's power booster, and there's master cylinder. So, well, there could be wheel cylinders too, and I don't know. So the first thing I will do when a mechanical I'll do when I can't paint anymore, because I need the temperature to paint. So anyway, so the carburetor, well, I'll finish the brakes first. So it's one of those four things. So the first thing I'll do is I'll go to the back and I'll loosen up one of the zerks back there and pump it and see if I get fluid coming out. So if I get fluid coming out back there, that's telling me your brake lines are okay. So then we go to the spendy stuff.
I was afraid you'd say that.
the power brake booster, it's between 300 and 400. And the master cylinders, they're only about around 30, you know, give or take, whatever. So the first thing you would check and see, you'd pull the master cylinder and see if it's leaking down into the booster. And if it's leaking down into the booster, because you know you're pumping and you're getting fluid back, but if it's leaking down into the booster, your master's okay, it's the booster. And what happens when they leak down in there, you'll see there's a rubber diaphragm in there. Picture a big old diaphragm, and there's a little rod that goes from your master cylinder into that diaphragm, and you got vacuum going into your power booster. That's what gives you your boost, so you don't have to stand on your brakes.
Yeah, that's the way I feel. Is I'm basically standing on it.
Here, I said, "Whoa, wait a minute!"
Oh yeah, yeah.
I thought,
It's like when you're
how
coming
did
to a
he
stop
come-
sign, you're just like,
I said, how did he come all the way from Hillsboro to here, man? Oh, you were brave. So anyway, that's the brakes.
the whole time I was driving it over here, it's like, if I can just get it to Lyle, it'll be
Yeah.
okay. If I can
I
just get it
bet
to
you
Lyle,
were.
it'll
I
be
bet-
okay.
I bet you were. And then I was going to show you. I was going to show you on your carburetor what I figured out. I didn't get into it really deep, but what I figured out was there's no tension. Hold on, I got done some other work in here. Some of this stuff I'm not charging you for, because you've done stuff for me. So, but anyway, I took.
Yeah, you looks
this
like
was
you've
all
definitely done
rusted
some.
here. I took and painted this here. See, you got your numbers here. Your radiator. I mean, your this is a bod. This is a vehicle. This number goes with the whole vehicle.
Oh, so is that basically like a VIN?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, it's an ID. It's not
Okay.
a VIN. It's an ID. And down here, somewhere is that same number. This number is down here somewhere. So if you wire brush this all off, it'd be down here. But anyway, this was all rusted. So I took and wire brushed this
Yeah,
here.
it looks way better than it did.
And I did this here too.
Yeah, that looks brand new right there.
Well, it looks better than it did. But anyway,
Yeah, I had the guys at the shop. I was just like basically just get it running strong, and that's all they did. They didn't do like a whole lot of extra
So I
stuff
want
to
to show
it.
you something. You're supposed to have tension on this thing, right? Well, you're supposed to have tension on it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so when I touch that, it springs back. So I thought, well, because this thing was like this here when
Oh,
I
it was stuck open?
Yeah, like it was stuck open. I thought, oh, there's a spring in here, and your automatic choke, it's got a little hole in it, and this here arm right here comes out, and it's got a little thing that sticks in that spring hole, and you turn that to adjust your tension, right? I got this thing turned to where I can't go anymore. So there's something wrong here, and I'll find out what it is. But anyway, so that's why when you start it, I remember you told me when you start it, you got to keep it going for a little bit till it warms up.
Yeah, you got to warm it up for about 5 minutes before it goes. And then sometimes when you're at a stoplight, it just dies. And then you got to restart it again.
Anyway, that's why, because
Okay.
that choke, and that's what your choke is, that butter operates that butterfly. There's something wrong there, so we'll figure it out. And the other thing is, they had a deal. See, this here is what opens your choke. It's really a stupid Ford idea. This leans up against this here, and the heat from the heater hose, the water in the heater hose, heats this here, which heats the spring in here, which allows this then to open after the engine gets warm.
So it has to touch that thing in order for it to function
it
properly?
has to touch it.
That's kind of weird.
So there's yeah, it is. It's one of Ford's better ideas, right? So anyway, I'm going to make you they have a clamp or a deal that clamps. It bolts on down here. So I'm going to make that for you.
Okay.
And so that gets on there. So I wanted to show you that. But outside of that, that's all I've done.
Yeah, that's all
the
you've
engine.
done. For the record, just for the people watching this video, Lyle has had this car for about 10 days. So I posted my last update on the car on my YouTube channel. And that was after I'd gotten most of the rust out of the trunk. And it took me several weeks to get that done. And now you've had the car for about a week and a half. We haven't even gotten to the inside yet. The inside is completely gutted.
Okay, well, I left the driver's seat in. But I wanted to show you something. Let's push this over so you can see in here.
Oh, you got the seatbelt out.
Pardon me?
Isn't that the old seatbelt?
Yeah, I pulled those out.
How'd you get that out?
Oh, that was interesting.
Yeah, I'll bet. The bolt on the underside was rusted, and I could not get that sucker to move.
I got it out. But anyway, so this is what I remember. I told you the bottom of your doors. So I cleaned them all out, and I primered them. First, I put that rust stuff in there. That I got that liquid rust, and it sat for 3 days, maybe 4 days. And then I took and I come back in. I blew it all out, and I took some sandpaper, went in there, and scrubbed and blew it out again. Then I took coats of primer, and then I took and squirted some white paint in there, and I went up on here so it looks a little cleaner. But so that you won't have any rust down there anymore. And I did the same to the driver's door. You can see that from here.
Yeah.
So I wanted you to see in here. So you can go ahead and get it here. So you see the back cushion area? See all that side? See, that's what they came with, was that insulation with the foil back, the glass on the front. Well, it wasn't on this side.
Yeah, I noticed when I was doing the trunk that that hole over there was just, you know,
yeah,
like,
so,
something's missing.
So what I'm going to do is I have this stuff when I take and rebuild these T-Birds. It's insulation. It's a 1/4 inch thick. It's foil on both sides. And I'm going to run that down to about here. I'm going to take that glass scrap out of there and run that down to there. So that'll be closed up. But I was going to show you. See, now, when you take and change those tubes, you want to pop this seat out because the nuts are right there.
Oh. Yeah, that makes life a lot easier.
Oh,
rather than climbing into the trunk.
Yeah, they're right there.
They're right there. How about that?
So anyway, I wanted to show you that because all you do you have to take, there's 2 screws on these armrests. By the way, you're missing parts on these.
I can't say I'm surprised to hear that.
You're missing some of these caps. I have some. And then you're missing some of these here receivers for the screws. This one didn't have any, and the other side is missing one. But anyway, so I got those from the bird nest.
Oh, is that that was on the receipt that you sent me? Okay.
And then I got some screws. Let's see what else I wanted to tell you. Oh, the worst of all the bad news is, I'll show you. There's 2 things you can do. You can temporarily, because I like things to be dry and you don't have moisture coming in. So if you look,
oh,
underneath,
holy moly, there's a big old freaking crack along there.
Yeah. So anyway, water will come down. And so here's my suggestion, because here's what has to happen. The only way you get this off, you got to pull a headliner on the inside and the side.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, we can do that another time. Just right now, I'm not into. That's a major deal.
Yeah.
To pull, because there's 2 screws, 2 studs that come in there. You take those out. Maybe there's 3. And anyway, then you pull this off, and what needs to be done is you need to get a piece of sheet metal, have it bent, stick it up underneath there, and it'd be better to go from the inside. Come out, tack weld it, and then take and Bondo and putty it in, make it nice, then put this back on. Now you fix the rusting. But that's,
and you got to yank the whole headliner to do that.
No, not the whole headliner. Just
this little section on the inside. Right, okay.
It'd be right down here in the bottom. And
could we just take like some sealant or something and just kind of fill that hole right there? I mean, that seems like that would be a lot less of a pain.
That's what I was going to tell you. So what I can do is, I was going to get you okay to do this, is I was going to take and get some of the clear quick seal.
Oh, that's quick seal.
And I'll take and put a small bead right up here. And when I do that, I take my finger afterwards, I rub it in. And then I'll do the same in here. I'll fill this all in, and that'll seal this up. And then whenever you decide
totally
you want to
okay
do
with
that, you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I mean, even if we need to pull this at some point in the future, all we'd need to do is just like run a little pocket knife and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good fix for me.
Okay.
I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure you were happy with it. And I found that on these here door seals, they look like they're not that old.
No, the guys at the shop put those in.
They're not the right ones.
I kind of figured that.
They're a little bit too long, so I want to try and make them work. You see, because this comes way up into here. Make that tight along here. Okay.
Yeah, I commented about that when they put those in, and they're like, well, it's just because they're new. They're just sticking out a little bit longer than they were supposed to. Like, and I was like,
Everything fits just right. It's just...
Yeah, they did the ones here on the inside, too. These right here. And these seem like they fit a lot better.
Yeah, the roof rails are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
but the ones on the door were just kind of like
whoever
wonky.
they bought them from wasn't a good company. But anyway, so outside of that, I talked to what's his name down the bird nest? Anyway,
Matt?
no,
Mike?
his brother, the one that does all electrical.
Oh, yeah, I don't know
I
who that is.
talked to him on your dash because they, in one of the TBird meetings, they brought in a speedometer and they took everything apart. It was kind of cool. He says a lot of people think that these things, there's mercury that goes across. You know what it is? It's on a barrel. The speedometer is on a barrel, and this barrel rotates, and that's what moves your speed level up. It's kind of goofy. But anyway, so he did the demonstration on it. So I figured when we do the dash, we have to drop the steering wheel.
Yeah, I'm assuming the dash is going to have to be replaced because that crack can't be repaired. Is that correct?
No, that's too big.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
So I
as
got
much.
a dash. And but anyway, so I contacted a guy, Kevin Seacrest. He works. He used to work for Bob at TBird Sanctuary. He's really good. He replaced one of my dashes in one of my 65 I sold. But anyway, so I asked him to help me. So anyway, so when we do the dash, then we'll get into the speedo thing.
Okay.
And then we'll see what goes from there. Now you're going black on Landau black, so I'll paint that donut black because it's red. It's in the.
Oh, I've actually got a second one that
you?
I bought from
Okay,
somebody
then.
else that's already black,
Oh,
and
then
it's in
don't
better
worry
shape
about
than the
that.
red one is.
Okay.
It's in one of these boxes in here.
Okay.
The one in that Bosch box right there, those were like used
I haven't even
brake
looked in
parts
there.
or something. They were on the car when I bought it, and somebody already replaced them with new ones. I don't know if you wanted to keep those or if they're even salvageable. I just kind of threw them in here just in case you wanted them.
I haven't even looked in there, so
Okay.
could have been full of money. That would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Well, anyway, let's go down and look at your bumper.
I am blown away by how much work you put into this thing in such a short period of time. I'm so happy. So happy you're taking such good care of my
I'm going
car.
up to get found a 79 Ranchero parts car. It's going to be delivered. I got to ride up there with him up in Billingham, Washington. It's way up north. And so it's going to be in the middle of September. But anyway, so I took this apart. And I took and cleaned this all up, and I painted this here. And I put new bolts in here. I didn't the rest of it, but anyway, this turned out pretty nice.
Oh, wow.
And I took and painted this here, cleaned this up inside here and painted. But
Is this the new sign that was in the back?
That's a new one, yeah.
Nice. Let me get that on film there. Nice, pretty new sign. For those that have been following my channel, this thing was all cracked and nasty looking. Now it looks brand new.
Well, I'm
Boy, oh
not
boy.
quite done with it yet. I'm going to make it a little shinier yet, but it doesn't look too bad. It's in good shape. It's not
Yeah,
bent or
it looks
anything.
great. Yeah. I'm so excited to see the car when you're done with it. I can't wait. It's going to look so cool. Shannon's actually going to like the car. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I found a black cushion for the back, and then I got the two of those there. I'm gonna, not today. Today I'm gonna. Yesterday I did a little too much heat for me. So anyway, so today I'm kind of chilling. I'm gonna do a little bit, as long as it's cloudy on that there body work on that side. On the other side, I'm gonna mud that up and let that dry for a day. But then tomorrow I'm gonna start painting the cushions to Landau black. They're in here.
And seats in there.
'Cause I'll do all
Okay.
my painting in there.
Mhm.
So tomorrow's cushion paint day.